Hello, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. We are here to discuss the latest gash at Manchester United, the latest situation, the latest news, the fallout, the reaction to the loss against Crystal Palace and the state of the club and the state of the situation and just this gash football club and its dealings at this moment in time. We're on here to discuss it this evening. Thank you very much for getting in here and being part of the show. How are we all doing tonight, guys and girls? Thank you very much for joining us and getting in. Shout out to the Mighty Bacon Brigade joining us. Thank you all these legends, Ghost Post, Protocol, etc. for hitting that subscribe button. Do as they have done if you're new to the show and smash that subscribe button at the start of this one. That'd be much appreciated. Give us a big like. It's free to hit the thumbs up video, so smash the thumbs up video on the video. And also share it around on social media. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat. You can give us a repost on social media if you're that way inclined. There is a link to the Twitter that you can go and give a cheeky little retweet on. Nice one. And we'll shout you out a bit later on in the show. Plenty to get into tonight, guys. Unfortunately, all of it pretty negative stuff. But once again, you know, thank you very much for you all waiting for us to get going here. You're a bunch of legends. How are we doing tonight? Thanks for joining. Hope you're well. If you're anything like me, you're pissed off with Manchester United at this moment in time and just how bloody gash-tastic we are. You know, it's unacceptable, really, how bad we're doing this season. It's totally unacceptable how bad we're doing. There is no real way you can defend sort of what's happening at the football club. Obviously, it's not as simple as this guy, that guy, this player's to blame, this manager's to blame, the owner's to blame. It's a combination of absolute shit at Man United. It is a complete shower of shitstorm going on at this football club. But all I know is it's completely unacceptable. Let's have a look at this, for instance, right at the start of this. So, following Crystal Palace's 1-0 win at Old Trafford, this is officially Manchester United's worst start to a league campaign for 34 years. 34 years, guys. 34 years. So I'm 36 years old. So the last time we had as bad a start to a Premier League campaign as this, I was literally a 2-year-old toddler sucking on a teat, more than likely. Is that still something that toddler does? I don't know. I'm just saying. It was a long time ago that Manchester United were last looking this poor in terms of a league start. We've barely got any points on the board. We're miles behind the likes of Spurs, Manchester City, you know, and everybody else. That's what we're doing here. We're miles behind. And thankfully for us, the shithouses at the top of the league, Manchester City and Liverpool, both lost today, which we would be absolutely laughing at them about if it wasn't for Man United losing at home to Crystal bloody Palace. You know, so trying to remain calm about the situation, it's just super annoying and super frustrating, but bloody hell, like I said in my video after the stream today, like, I cannot remember a time where we started the Premier League so badly, and this stat actually does back that up and says that, yes, we haven't had a start this bad since 34 years ago. 34 years, guys. That's insane, isn't it? It's quite a ridiculous amount of time, but anyway, look, there's many reasons for this. We can just blame Ten Hag if you want. Ten Hag needs to take some responsibility, but there's no point just blaming Ten Hag. But of course, let's discuss why Ten Hag is at fault for a lot of this. To be fair, today, I think he's got the selection wrong in a couple of areas, mostly selecting players based on reputation and name, rather than just playing them based on the form that they have actually shown in recent games, i.e. there's no way that Rashford should be getting in ahead of Garnacho, for instance. I mean, who do you think should have started on that left-hand side today, guys? Let's have a little vote in the live chat real quick. You had Garnacho, who's put an excellent performance in out in the last game, shows tremendous footballing IQ, even though he's a young player, and looked really good in the last few times we've seen him. Or you've got Rashford, who's looked really gash-tastic in the last few times we've seen him. He was great last season, But last season's last season. So who do you guys think we should have put out there on the left-hand side of the pitch? Let me ask the live chat very quickly. As I suspected, 90% of the live chat anyway do think that it should be Alejandro Garnacho that started the game, and I feel the same way. I think we've got to just stop selecting players based on who you like. Stop selecting players based on how much money they're on, or what name they are, or how nice they are, or even to an extent, right, how hard they train. Now, okay, I want all of my players to be professional and work hard, and yeah, you know, if you're Jadon Sancho and you're turning up late and you're taking the piss, that's one thing. But I'd rather actually go and select players that are performing in the games. That's the key thing here, is selecting players based on form of the actual games. And we know that the form of the actual games for Marcus Rashford for 3 or 4 games now has been absolutely stinking shite. Looking really bad over the last few games for Manchester United, yet he still is being selected by Erik ten Hag on that left-hand side. That's a fundamental problem for me, really. And then, you know, there's not too much elsewhere in the side you can really overly criticise, I suppose, in terms of his selection, because we are forced to play certain players maybe out of position or put in certain players due to injuries that we've got at the back. You know, the back line today, it looks ropey, but it's because there's so many players out injured. Martinez out injured, Wan-Bissaka out injured, Luke Shaw out injured, all these guys out injured. So we have to do certain things, you know. But I can't really understand selecting players like Marcus Rashford ahead of Alejandro Garnacho based on the recent form. That's all I'm saying. So I think Ten Hag's got to take some blame in regards to his overall sort of selection and how he's approaching these games, because, of course, you can't just select players based on who they are. And then secondly, it's the in-game management as well. There's always going to be times in games where you go down and out, you're behind, you concede a goal early doors, maybe 2 goals early doors. It's about getting back into the game and managing that game and coming back. We saw Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do it countless times as Manchester United manager, where he has been able to turn around a deficit at half-time and get us winning a game of football. It's not easy, but it can be done. That's part of a manager's job, is to basically adapt within a game, see what's going wrong, and to be fair to him, he should have seen what's going wrong in that first half, and he should have taken off Marcus Rashford, and he should have put on Alejandro Garnacho at half-time. Not when it's too late in the second half and bringing on players far too late just to try and make something happen, you know, when there's not enough time. We saw a couple of substitutions late on in the game, like Martial coming on, like Eriksen coming on, Garnacho, all little too late, really, at that particular time. Should have happened much sooner. And then I don't even know what the devil he was thinking, bringing on Slabo Maguire. Let's get an Easter Island head in the live chat, everyone, just to remind us what a fucking statuesque slab we're dealing with here. He brought him on alongside Donny van de Beek. I find that very strange, the last few minutes of the game, when we're trying to desperately get back into it, looking for a goal. Okay, fair enough, he's a big old beanpole, isn't he? And he's just sticking a big old beanpole on, hoping for something to happen. But his substitutions were absolutely laughable. Laughable substitutions. Cannot condone that, cannot stick up for that, cannot defend that sort of level of decision there. Pathetic. So yeah, I don't really know what Ten Hag was trying to achieve today with that. Some people like Sing Games I saw in the live chat earlier saying, is this guy trying to get himself the sack? Because he's going around about it the right way, if he is trying to get himself the sack, because it's a bizarre decision to make such substitutions and for his in-game management to be so poor. So you can't really defend that guy. So he's definitely making some mistakes. Of course, you can get into the tactics of the team. I mean, we are supposedly looking to play some sort of Ten Hag style, some sort of, you know, pressing style, transition style, whatever you want to call it, you know, where we have seen it in previous seasons for different teams like at Ajax. Ajax under Ten Hag were a very good stylistic football team, attacking, pressing, creating lots of chances, but it hasn't carried over to Manchester United yet, and we, like 15, 16 months into his Man United tenure, and we haven't actually seen an improvement in style, if we're being totally honest. In fact, you can hark back to the days of Louis van Gaal and his crabtastic sidey passy pussy football. In fact, with what we're doing recently with the style of play. So the style of play is a big problem. The tactics are clearly a problem as well. I get it, you're going to need to see players, of course, look like they're settling in. You need players like Rasmus Højlund, who's a young lad, to settle. But that was always a gamble, selecting that guy and bringing that guy in at 20 years of age to be the main guy up top there for Man United, a huge club in the Premier League, needing to score goals. I still think he's going to come good. But like I said in my watch-along earlier on, it's a strange decision to go and get somebody and put all your eggs in the basket of someone who's basically unproven. Basically a 20-year-old unproven kid who you're having to sort of put that pressure on to be the main man at the top for Manchester United for you. And he's cost you £72 million. I mean, I'm just saying, I actually think Højlund's going to be a very good player for us in the future. But I'm just saying, for £72 million, surely there was somebody available who's got more experience, who's got more proven sort of value right now to go and bag in a lot of goals rather than somebody like that who's kind of unproven. Of course there is. And then in regards to the other signings that he's made in the summer, you know, you have to say some of those are questionable. Mason Mount for 60 mil is a fucking joke. Andre Onana getting rid of De Gea, a fantastic player for us, in favour of somebody who can't stop a shot, is a questionable decision. So look, there's definitely blame at Ten Hag's door here. It's not all Ten Hag, but we have to address this at the start of the show and say that Ten Hag is certainly not doing that great at this moment in time either. You know, it is down to him partially why we are not doing great. Of course, the owners are a fucking massive problem at Manchester United. That is where the biggest problems lie. Some of the players are absolutely abysmal. You know, Bruno Fernandes needs to kick up the arse. What a gashtastic captain. Went into invisible mode, that twat, today. Did his John Cena impression. You can't see me. Just chilling on the pitch. Didn't even see the bastard anywhere. And then you got obviously a lot of other players who are underperforming. Marcus Rashford, etc., looking poor. You know, the list goes on. So players, managers, coaches, owners, all at fault for this complete debacle at this football club. But we do have to be honest and say that Ten Hag needs to shoulder some responsibility for what's happening at this club right now. I mean, let me ask the live chat quick. Who do you think is most to blame for this recent downturn in Manchester United form? So who is most to blame? Get your thoughts in the live chat. Is it the players? Is it particular players? Is it the manager? Is it the coaches? Is it the owners? Let us know where you guys are at in terms of what you think is the main culprit of the reasons why Man United is underperforming right now. Ten Hag wants the sack, says Mount. Scott says players. Ten Hag bought those players. Glazers, says Francois. Ten Hag, says Leon. Glazers and Rashford, says Real Killers. Marcus Rashford, says Anthony. Ten Hag does need to take a bit of fault. He does need to take a bit of fault. Probably by Palmaris says, I personally think the culture at the club is toxic. Can't get away from that, can you? You know, it is indeed. Ten Hag's to blame, says Rexo. Ooh, players, says Iceman. Glazers, owners, players, coach. Do you know what, Switch Extra? I think you're spot on there, really. I think you've got to look at the overall biggest picture. I think the biggest problem is the shithouse owners, of course. They have set us up poorly. We could have gone and got more of the players that we needed in the summer, more players earlier on. We were scratching around, signing players too late. That never helps. But the manager did go and get some of the players that he wanted early doors. There were other options on the table we could have gone and got that may have made us a better side. We talked about Manchester United fan James Maddison going to Spurs for 40 mil. Instead, we went and got £60 million Mason Mount. He's pretty bang average, to be fair. Rasmus Højlund, 72 million, could have just not gone and got Onana and maybe gone and signed Kane instead and kept David De Gea. That way we'd have spent the same amount of money, but we'd have had a proven Premier League goal scorer. Okay, he might not be able to press. I don't really give a shit about my players pressing that much, to be honest with you guys. You know what I care mostly about? Their ability to play football. Their ability to score goals. Just like I don't care about my goalkeeper being able to play out that much from his feet. As long as he's stopping the opportunities from going in the back of our net and stopping the shots, that's the most important thing. It's a series of shit-sos. Yeah, Clayton says manager, that's a fact. All of the above, says Gordon. Glazers, shambolic manager. Ten Hag has to go, not up to it. Chris Wheatley, interesting you say that, lad. Interesting you say that. I'm going to get a little poll on the go, actually. Let's ask the chat. Do you think Ten Hag should stay to the end of the season, yes or no? But I'm just going to ask the live chat. Will Ten Hag make it to the end of the season? I'm just going to ask that as a poll question. Why not? It's relevant, right? Let me get that on the go. It'll pop up in a second in the live chat. Do have a vote on it. Let us know where you guys are at. I personally hope that he will, but I was looking at the manager odds for the next manager to leave his post just before this stream, just out of interest, and Ten Hag is like fourth. He's the fourth favourite to leave his post at Manchester United next. So the next manager to be sacked, you know, you've got Daichi ahead of him, who's having an absolute stink show. There's a couple of other managers who are ahead of him, but he's right up there. He's right up there in terms of his job insecurity. And it is a concern, obviously, for Erik Ten Hag at this moment in time, whether or not he's going to get that much time. Because, as we discussed it in the watch-along earlier on, if he is in the position where he is now, or if we're mid-table, if we're not actually at the top there, at least in the European spots by, say, December, he probably will be end up getting the sack. And it's hard to really justify keeping somebody on who is performing to that sort of degree as a manager. Now, you can say the Glazers are shit, which is true. But it's also on the coach to actually coach the current set of players and get them playing a certain way. And he's had a reasonable amount of time now, 15, 16 months. He's had a reasonable amount of money, £400 million. He's had enough time and money really to have better shaped the side. And unfortunately, we haven't really gone forward at this moment. We kind of have just stagnated, or if anything, gone backwards with how we're playing. And it's not as easy as just finger pointing and say it's all on Ten Hag. There's many factors for it, but it will come down to the manager. Certainly in a couple of months, if we're mid-table at Christmas, it will come down on the manager's shoulders and he will be sacked. So he's got big pressure. He's got big pressure on his shoulders now, and it's about how he handles this pressure. We're going to have to go on a serious run now. He might even have to get a couple of upset wins. You saw Wolves beat Manchester City. Well, we've got like Brentford coming up. We've got a couple of easy winnable games. We've got to do well in the Champions League, of course. We've got Galatasaray next game there. We've got some easy games, but then we've got City coming up in a few games' time. And look, the fan base is growing ever more increasingly discontented, in fact, with what's happening right now. And actually, as wrong as it is, in my opinion, it is kind of wrong at this moment in time, Ten Hag out is trending on Twitter right now. I mean, I think that's a bit of a shambles, to be fair. We are only like 6 or 7 games into the season. To be Ten Hag out right now is a bit cringe, I'll be honest. I personally think you've got to give him faith and time. Chopping and changing managers isn't going to do all that. Plus, there isn't even really a standout candidate that's immediately available to just waltz in and fix everything. You know, are we really capable of going to get someone like Carlo Ancelotti or somebody right now? I mean, it's the Glazer shithouses aren't going to pay off Ten Hag, I don't think, and spunk 20 million just to get rid of somebody and then go and sign somebody else and spend more money. They hate spending money. They will stick with Ten Hag, I think, for at least a lot longer to give him a chance to hopefully turn things around. I think that's the right thing to do anyway. Oh, but the longer it goes on like this, where we're playing poor football, not picking up the results, the pressure just mounts and the confidence goes, and before you know it, it's an absolute shit show at Manchester United. It already is, let's be fair. I mean, you can't get away from these stats. You cannot get away from Man United's worst league start to a league campaign for 34 years. You cannot do that. You can't get away from it, guys. That is a stinking stat right there. 34 years, this is the joint worst start since then. Shambles. Absolute shambles. So something must be done. Ten Hag needs to get a reaction out of his players. He needs to make the right decisions. He needs to do things better in terms of in-game management. He needs to mix up the tactics. I'm still waiting for us to actually start playing some nice attacking football. Seems like we had no ideas in that particular game today. Panic stations at the ready as the game went on. Like the plan A, again, was like old school Louis van Gaal guff. It was too slow. It wasn't penetrative enough. We didn't actually get too much going in the final third whatsoever. I can barely think of a few good chances that we had in that game. Yeah, Johnston's made 1 or 2 good saves. Can barely think of really a great amount of chances that we've had. Not proper chances. So Rasmus Højlund up there feeding off scraps. Rashford and people like that, ineffective, unable to create, being too selfish. Pellistri on the other side didn't have a very good game. I mean, it doesn't help when your individuals are not performing well. But the actual style and the tactics of Manchester United, I'm trying to figure out how we're trying to play. I can't see how we're trying to play. We're supposed to be this great transition team, are we? We're shy. We can't move the ball well enough, quick enough, well enough. We certainly can't do it in the final third and create chances. So, you know, we have to get a bit of identity about us and play the right sort of football. But to be Ten Hag out already is just cringe-tastic, in my opinion. It doesn't really make sense. Let's wait a little bit longer, give him plenty more time, get the belief in him. I'll tell you what we should be. What we shouldn't be Ten Hag out, we should be Glazers out. That's what we should be, and we should not get away from that fact that they are the true parasites of this football club that are creating this whole toxic environment. And people will say, but Ten Hag's managing the players. Yeah, he is, but it's still, we are actually left wanting in a lot of key areas. We've got bad injury problems right now. We should have depth and quality to be able to cover these bad injury problems, but we don't. So, you know, it's not easy. Ten Hag's up against it, no doubt about it. He must be feeling the pressure right now. Thank you very much for getting in here with your super chat, by the way. Before we read that out, everyone, we've got 455 legends in here tonight. Do us a massive favour, would you? Smash the like button. That's the one that looks like that. It's a thumbs up. You probably haven't seen one of those for a while if you're a Manchester United fan, because it insinuates positivity. Do you know what I'm saying? But that is a thumbs up right there, guys. There's a thumbs up down there somewhere. Click the like button on it. Give us a massive like spike. It's free to like the video. Every little like helps the stream and boosts us up on the YouTube algorithm. So please do drop a little like on it if you haven't done so. That'd be amazing. Let's see if we can get 300 likes on this show tonight. Do hit the thumbs ups, guys, if you just joined in. And also hit the subscribe button if you're new. We're on our way to 75,700 subscribers, on the road to 76k on YouTube in terms of subscribers. So if you are here for the first time, subscribe. And once you are subscribed, you'll be able to chat immediately as well. So get yourself subscribed to the channel, smash the like button, and strap yourselves in for the rest of the show. Get your thoughts in and out of the live chat, because we will be dipping in and out of the community and see what you guys are saying, and we'll have a Q&A at the end of the show also. Tad Bakes, thank you for your super chat here, my friend. He says, didn't take long for the fickle fans to turn on another manager, did it, Pig? When will people learn? This fan base don't deserve a manager like Erik ten Hag. Hey, I agree with you, Tad Bakes. Erik ten Hag out is already trending on social media. It's already trending on social media. It is pretty ridiculous after such a short amount of games for that to be the case. It's like this repeating cycle at Manchester United, isn't it? You get a few ropey games, you get a lot of blame directed towards the manager and the players, and not enough blame directed towards the ownership of this football club. And then it gets worse and worse. The pressure mounts. The fans get more and more discontented with how we're playing, and the backlash gets more fiery towards the owners, and the owners go, oh shit, we better scapegoat somebody here. We better sack off the manager and go and get somebody else before the heat comes and finds us. And that's basically what happens. And then they end up sacking somebody off, and then it's, oh, okay, we're back to square one. Oh, this new guy's going to be the man. And then everybody gets behind him for a little while, and then it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. We've had that for 10 years now, literally since David Moyes came in. He was sacked off after 8 months, and in fact, the Ginger Goblin was, let's face it, not doing a great job at Manchester United, but he was sacked off way too soon. I personally think Louis, arguably, I don't think he was sacked off too soon, actually, but he was sacked on the back of an FA Cup victory. Jose was sacked too soon, if you ask me, based on, what he had done the season before that last season, and the fact that he wanted certain players and he just wasn't agreeing with the Glazer shithouses, etc. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think if you actually look at how he was doing based on what we're doing now and the problems that there are still apparent in the football club, Ole was probably sacked off too soon too. This is a repeating cycle at Manchester United, and I agree with you, Tad Bakes, mate. I think you've got to be somewhat of a fickle melt if at this moment in time you want Ten Hag out. You don't realise that there's bigger problems afoot at Man United. Yes, Ten Hag deserves some blame. He definitely does, as we've discussed at the start of this video for 10 minutes. He deserves some blame for his poor tactics, for his selection, for some of the signings that he's made, but it's not all of his fault, definitely not. And it's too soon, even now this season, to say that we are still going to have a bad season. We could turn it around. We had a bad start to last season too, and we turned it around. So we'll just have to give him support. I'm hashtag Erik ten Hag in. I'm going to support this guy and give him my faith and belief, and I'm not just going to be fickle and change my decision even if we lost the next game or the next game. There's a bigger reason why Manchester United are losing games at this moment in time. Gungshi says, some fans are fickle, Pig. Cringe indeed. There you go. I know exactly, Don Gungshi. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad. It's sad. And look, a lot of people will blame Ten Hag solely for this. You can't blame him solely. Players need to man up. There's a lot of players and a culture at this football club that's been created over many years. Not just since Erik ten Hag's been here. In fact, he's been trying to right the wrongs of that bad culture. But there's been a culture of giving players too much too soon, making superstars out of them when they're not even superstar players, and accepting a level of mediocrity at this football club for far too long that has been apparent far before Erik ten Hag got through the door. And he's trying to undo that mediocre mentality at this football club, and it's going to take time. It really is going to take time. It took Alex Ferguson time. When he first arrived at the football club, it took him very many years to be able to get this football club to the point where we're winning trophies in a well-oiled machine. And it will take Erik ten Hag just the same amount of time, if you ask me. Zamiassi, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. He says, Piggy, do you think City will win it? After today, we are favourites on Piggy. Come on, you Gunners. Zamiassi, lad, do I think City will win it? It's a yellow card straight off the bat there for Zamiassi, coming in here with an absolutely crackhead question. You what? Of course you're not going to win it, bud. After today, we're favourites. He says Arsenal are favourites. That's a yellow card from me, pal. Less of that. Less of that. You are going in the book from that one. It's a ridiculous comment you've just made. There's no way that Arsenal are favourites to win anything other than the absolutely the disappointing cup. You will win that, mate. You will win the bottle job trophy of the season, I'm sure. Maybe you'll look like you're going to win. Maybe you'll look like you'll do some impressive things this season, only to just absolutely fall on your your face at some point and fucking shit it, bro. That is what Arsenal do. And in regards to do I think City will win it? Yeah, I do think City will win it, mate. You know why? Because they're by far and away the best team, even though they're cheating bastards. They're by far and away the best team. And one game against Wolves, where they've lost and had a freak game where they lost 2-1, doesn't change a damn thing, really. Oh, they got knocked out in the League Cup the other day as well. Oh, doesn't change a damn thing. This is what I'm saying. People are too fickle. You're too fickle, Jamie Assey, lad. You're all Arteta out as soon as you fucking lose a game of football, lad. And you're saying that, oh, because City have lost one game to Wolves, they're going to lose the league this season. Rubbish. They're not going to lose the league. They'll go on probably a 10-game winning streak now, lad. They're a bloody good team. Pep's a good manager. They've got an insane set of players. They've got 2 squads capable of challenging for the title, for fuck's sake. And you think just because they lost one game against Wolves, that's it, Arsenal are favourites. You're deluded, my friend. Absolutely deluded. There's no bloody way. Thank you for your super chat, though, bro. But no, definitely, I still think City win the league, and I still think Arsenal, yeah, you'll get top 4, but you'll ultimately freaking bottle job it at some point like you always do. Tad Bake says, fickle melts indeed, pig. Forget new players and managers. We need a new fan base. Well, look, everybody's going to disagree in this fan base. I think it's important for us to try and stay united as a fan base, though. The key word here is united. That's the name of our team. But it seems we're always divided as a fan base. We're divided over loads of different points in regards to what's best for this football club. But I think we've got to try and stay united. I'm going to encourage people to try and stick with the manager. You guys are your own people, obviously. You've got your own minds. You make up your own minds. But the point is, I still think that Ten Hag needs our backing. We need to stay united as a fan base. There's no point starting arguing with each other about, oh, Glazers in, Glazers out, fucking Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, and all that guff. We need to be united in regards to backing the team, backing the manager in particular this season. I think we're all united in the Glazers out, to be fair. But in regards to the manager in or out, we've got to stay united, certainly for the time being, because the toxicity gets so apparent when these situations present themselves. I remember Ollie at the end, backing Ollie to the hilt until it became like this massive pressure thing going on. And obviously, you know, at the end, it did look like Ollie needed to go, really. But in hindsight's a wonderful thing. He didn't do that badly, considering it was just a toxicity taking place at the club. And there is a certain element of toxicity in the fan base as well you can't get away from. Timo, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Timo, thank you for hitting the subscribe. If you guys are new like Timo, drop the subscribe on it. That's the one down there, the red one that says subscribe. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe. Jamie Assey says, Piggy, why don't you do future watch-alongs abroad in a sunny place by the pool? So when you have a meltdown, you can jump in the pool. Don Piggy, Way of Water, like the Avatar sequel, says Jamie Assey. That's it, mate. Sorry, second yellow card for you, bud. Second yellow card. You know what that means, mate. Early bar for you. Never mind early fucking pool jumping session for me. It's a red for you, son. You're off, lad. See you later on. Early bar for you, mate. Go and get yourself a fucking early shower, mate. You're a disgrace. Abroad in a sunny place. I mean, I'd love to do watch-alongs abroad in a sunny place, Amy Assey, lad, but, you know, that ain't real life, bro. That ain't real life. Maybe for you, coming in here, dropping your $9.99 super chats, eating and fine dining at a salt-based restaurant with fucking gold flake on your steaks, buying fucking £200 bottles of water, you fucking posh prick. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a reality for you, bro. But most of the people in this live chat, myself included, we got to keep it real, my son. Can't be fanning around by a pool, mate. Do you know what I mean? You got bills to pay, lad. Got bills to pay, mate. We're not living in cloud cuckoo land. We're not all living off mama's credit card there, Amy Assey, lad. You know what I'm saying, lad? Coming in here spouting your nonsense all the time, lad. Goodness me, you just know Jamie Assey's a trust fund baby, don't you? He's a trust fund baby, this twat. Yeah, okay, he might have reinvested it, he might have his own business, he might be doing well. Yeah, nice one. Donald Trump did quite well when his daddy gave him £1 million to fucking invest in various different shits as well. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Assey, yeah, good one, mate. Nobody cares. Anyway, whatever. Thank you very much for getting in here. And stop talking about Avatar in this live chat, please, Shane. It's boring now, mate. It's boring. You're an absolute Avatar fiend. We've had enough of it. Okay. Anyway, guys. So get your votes in the poll. Let's have a look at the poll very quickly. So we've had already 300 votes on the poll. Will Ten Hag make it to the end of the season? 45% of the live chat say yes, he will make it to the end of the season. The majority, 55% of the live chat, say no, he will not make it to the end of the season. That is concerning, isn't it? I think you're right, Stoic Savage. We must back Ten Hag. Thank you, United Prodigy. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Right, anyway. Okay, guys, let's get on to some of the sort of reaction and backlash and quotes and things like that from after the game today, because it was a debacle, obviously. Thank you very much. SDJC Correa says, Zayn is a masochist, loves to get insulted, says SDJC Correa. To be fair, Zayn likes a bit of banter. You know, he's harmless, really. He's coming in here. He's just gloating because his Arsenal side are actually not that shit at the moment. You know, I would be doing the same if I was him right now. You know, it's very rare that his bottle job side, the North London Bottling Company, the team that hasn't ever won the Champions League and hasn't won the Premier League for 20 years, it's very rare that they actually look half decent. To be fair, they're a shite bag team, aren't they? But right now, they do kind of look half decent, and he's just milking it for everything it's worth. I get it, I understand it, I don't like it, but I understand it, you know. But it is very annoying. That's all I can say, it is very annoying. But he's entitled to his say, just like anybody around here. Okay, so look at these stats from Man United, obviously. United in the Premier League so far this season, 7 games, 4 defeats, 3 wins, 11 goals conceded, and 7 goals scored. I mean, that's just terrible. That is just awful. Goal difference of -4. 7 games, 4 defeats, 3 wins. I mean, what sort of form is that? That's like 13th place form at the end of the season. It's not going to get the job done at all. And a lot of the games at home as well, like just generally bottling it now. A couple of wins, losses at home. Brighton, obviously, and now this game that we lost today as well against Crystal Palace. And in fact, Crystal Palace have got, I think, the last 3 out of 6 victories they've come to Old Trafford and got, which is a shocking stat, really, when you consider just how bang average Crystal Palace are, really. So frustrating from the game before where we played them midweek to just go from one extreme to the other of absolutely battering them. And it did seem like Roy Hodgson basically just made those necessary adjustments, and his team sat back and played low block and countered really well. Only had a few counter-attacking opportunities, to be fair. They didn't really create a lot, but they defended really well, and they just frustrated Manchester United for the entire game. Thank you, Chris Winters and Papa Emeritus, for subscribing to the channel. Nice one, guys. Welcome aboard the Bacon Express. Right, let's get into what Ten Hag said about this. So he's asked about the backlash from the fan base, and obviously there were boos ringing around Old Trafford, it seems, from certain pockets of the fans in regards to the team's performance and some of Ten Hag's decisions, and of course the style in which, the way with which we've gone about it. So Ten Hag said on the boos, I understand. When you play Palace, you have to win, with all respect. Of course, that is a concern. We have to be more consistent. We need a row of wins. I can give you reasons, but you will explain as an excuse. There are no excuses. And there should be no excuses, really. There is no excuses for how Manchester United are that bad, really. Your Absolution says, can someone link me to membership? I don't know if one of the mods can put a link in the live chat. There should be a link in the description of this video, actually, mate. Thank you for wanting to become a member. There's a link in the description of this video. There's also a little blue join button somewhere down in the live chat there, I think. Thank you, Vuti. Smash the like button. Help us get to 200 likes. I appreciate you. Thank you so much there, bro. Nice one, Vuti. Nice one. Anyway, Zayn Miyasi says, do you think you overpaid for Holy Land and should have gone for someone more established? He's still not scored yet. Well, he has scored, actually. He did score, but it just wasn't in the league. But in regards to Højlund, Zayn Miyasi, I mean, I think you're just asking sort of rhetorical questions just to try and annoy me now, aren't you, bud? Let's be real. Okay, you send in $9.99 each time in there, so I'll let you go for it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because let's face it, the cheddar's coming my way, mate. You know what I mean? £10 a pop, lad. You can spout all the fucking shite that you want, pal. But in regards to what you've just said, you know my stance on this, Zayn. Unless you don't watch this channel, which you do because you're obsessed, lad, then you would know what my stance on this is. Yes, we did overpay for Højlund. Of course we overpaid for him. £72 million for Højlund, a 20-year-old, basically unproven player who's coming off the back of, yeah, good season in Serie A. Yeah, he scored some goals, 9 goals, I think, and 11 assists. He's a multifaceted player. He's not just a goal scorer, he's a creator as well. But it's no good if you can't get him the bloody service whatsoever at the top of the pitch. And it was always going to be a transitional period for this guy coming in to play for Manchester United when he is a young player with only Serie A experience, or, you know, Danish international experience. Oh, Danish friend. You know, he doesn't have that proven Prem experience. And like you've just said, should have got someone more established. Yes, blatantly, we should have got somebody more established. You know exactly who I wanted, Zayn. We should have tried our very mightiest to go and get Harry Kane. That was the missing piece of the puzzle. And yeah, stylistically, maybe he's not a presser or whatever. He's a goal scorer, though. And he's proven in the Premier League, and he would have definitely added us a lot of goals in our side and given us a focal point at the top of the pitch, which is proven in the league. So that's who we should have gone and got. And I still firmly believe we could have gone and got him. Yeah, it's Sheikh dealing with Tottenham. Yeah, you'd have to pay him nearly 400 grand a week. Yeah, it's 110 million pounds you'd have to spank down on the table to convince them to sell them to you. But we ended up spending that anyway on Mount and Onana, or we ended up spending 120 odd million on Rasmus Højlund and Onana. So if we'd have just kept De Gea and not gone and got one of those or two of those three players I just mentioned, we could have got Harry Kane 100%. Smash a one in the live chat if you believe Manchester United should have done that we should have just gone and got Harry Kane, and instead of maybe doing what we did, which is sign 3 really expensive players, of which you could argue 2 of which we didn't even really need, Mount and Onana. Okay, I think Højlund is a good youngster for the future and looks a really good talent, actually, and probably will come good, but he's still not experienced. Zamiasi, to answer your question, your truculent question, yes, we could have gone and got somebody more experienced, and I think that would have happened. You said this before, it happens, says Chris. Exactly. So, there's some people disagree and say we shouldn't have gone and got him, but I firmly believe if we could have gone and got Kane and not signed a new keeper, but just kept De Gea, and instead of getting Højlund, gone and got Kane, we'd probably be having a much better start to the season. Michelle says you are so right. And who knows? Who really knows what could happen? Maybe the fundamental issues at this club are beyond the personnel that are currently in the squad. I think that's fair to say as well. But 20-year-old, no Premier League experience versus Harry Kane, 30 years old and scores 30 goals a season in the league. I mean, come on. Those are two pretty opposite ends of the spectrum of players you could go and get. Kane would have no service either. Well, that's a fair point, Fries. We are really struggling to get service to any of our players. That's a fair point, isn't it? It's a fair point. Okay, so Eric Ten Hag understands the booze. He says there's no excuses whatsoever for this gash-tastic display against Crystal Palace. We must win. We must win, and we couldn't win. He said that the first goal is very important, but if you concede, you still have to find a way to win. We didn't do that, and we have to blame ourselves. It's frustrating for the fans, players, and me, but we have to stick together and get better. We do have to stick together, don't we, guys? So I understand what you're saying there, but also he does have to take blame for it, and so do some of the players. His in-game management in this game, particularly today, was piss poor, i.e. bringing certain substitutes on way too late, not impacting the game in a positive way and adapting. It's always going to be the case of you have to try and clutch your way back from a losing position and try and win a game of football. You've got to influence the game well as a manager. You've got to see what's going wrong, make the necessary adjustments, and do it for the better throughout the 90 minutes. We're always going to be in a position where it looks like you're losing at 45 minutes so you can turn it around. Unfortunately, he didn't do that today. He did not do that at all. We just ended up going through the motions and making late subs and not doing the right substitutions, and it didn't impact us well at all. So he's got to take a bit of blame for the in-game management today, definitely, and the players, of course. But he should have ripped off Marcus Rashford way sooner. In fact, he shouldn't even started Marcus Rashford earlier on the pitch. I believe Pellistri should have been subbed off much sooner. Good selection from the start. Pellistri looks good recently, but he was having an ineffective piss-poor game, getting bullied off the ball. Should have taken him off much, much sooner than he actually did. And then don't even get me started on bringing Mags and Donny on later on in the game. Jamie Ashley, thanks for the $9.99 super chat again here, mate. He says, why didn't Arsenal and United go for Maddison? Could he be buy of the season after Rice, who has been world class? Jamie Ashley, do you just not watch this channel, mate? Do you literally not watch it? You come in here and you talk to us and you interact with us. I'm starting to think you don't even have the volume on when you're listening to this, bro. And you just come in here and you just type messages and send them off into the ether just for some sort of weird fucking bants or something. Do you not listen to anything I'm saying, bird? Earlier on, I literally said that Manchester United should have gone and got James Maddison for £40 million instead of Mason Mount for £60 million. And I've been saying that in almost every other video since that fucking happened, Jamie Ashley, lad. You need to clear your ears out, bud. You need to go for an ear candle session or some shit, because you've got a waxy build-up going on there, lad. You're not listening, are you, Jamie Ashley? You don't listen, mate. To answer your question again, no, there's no real reason why United didn't go for them apart from we made the wrong decisions. Maddison's a top player. He's a very good player, certainly better than Mason Mount, I think, and he was £20 million cheaper. That's 50% cheaper. 50% cheaper. He cost 40 mil. Mason Mount cost 60 million. That's not 50%, is it? But yeah, you know what I mean. It is 50%. No, 33% cheaper. You know what I mean. So significantly cheaper, right? Manchester United could have got him for a heck of a lot less money and ended up with a better player. So that was poor recruitment from Man United side of things. Look, Mason Mount, he's had a mixed bag of games so far. I'm not going to write Mason Mount off just yet. You know my thoughts on Mason Mount. I think he's bang average. The funny thing is, people on social media suggesting that Mason Mount actually had a good game today. I see some people saying Mason Mount had a good game. Mason Mount had a bang average game, really. If that's the standard that we're holding players to, no wonder we're in the shit. Mason Mount was okay in the first half. He was good in the first half, and then over the 90 minutes, he was bang average. So, if that's the standard we're holding players to, no wonder we're struggling at this particular moment in time. But I must say, I do think James Maddison should have been bought instead of Mason Mount in the summer. That should have been the case. Smash a 1 if you agree. Smash a 2 if you disagree and you think we did the right thing spending 60 on Mount and allowing Maddison to go to Spurs. But I think Maddison's proving every single game that he plays for Tottenham that he is a very good signing for them for 40 million quid. Hannibal and Garnacho should have started. Definitely Gungshin. Hannibal didn't even get a look in. 100% agreed with you there, sir. Reward good performances. Don't give these players opportunities, who don't deserve them. That's what Ten Hag should be doing. He should be rewarding these good performances. So I feel you there. Zane is your parrot, says to me. Who's a pretty boy then? Zane, do you want a cracker, mate? Do you want a bloody cracker? I know. He's just repeating me, isn't he? He's like, I don't think he listens to the stream. Mount was average at best, says Gangshi. Mount was 4.5 or 5, says Rajat. Right, yeah. So quite a few people getting ones in the live chat agreeing that we should have probably just gone and got Maddison. And I was saying this far before we signed Mason Mount, by the way. This isn't just me saying this now. I've been saying this the whole time. Actually, if you listen to my show, if you watch my show, you know that all summer long before we signed Mason Mount, even when we were discussing signing Mason Mount, I was saying we should just go and sign James Maddison. He's better and cheaper. But no, we didn't do that. So I do think our recruitment has been generally quite poor this summer as well. And who's to blame for that? Well, there's multiple people to blame. You do have to blame the Glazers. You do have to blame the recruitment team. But of course, Ten Hag has to take some blame as well because he's fundamentally deciding to sign some of these players for certain amounts of cash when he could have allocated that money in a different way. So we have signed poor players, well, not poor players, but we signed quite poorly this summer, I think, in a lot of regards, unfortunately. Oh, right. Let's get on with Ten Hag's quote. So he said, we must find a way, and it's very frustrating, of course, that we were unable to do so. We didn't adapt well throughout the game. Very, very, very frustrating and disappointing sort of result and performance from the lads. Can't get away from it. He said, of course it's frustrating. We were also many times close. You have to be sharp and clinical. It's about decision making. We can't change this result anymore. You always learn from the game and learn to do better from the final part of the game. Well, we must learn from this and we must learn quick. We haven't learned from any of our other piss-poor results this season. I don't think he's learned with his selections or in-game management. I don't think our players have learned with their performances. And in terms of style or tactics of what we're trying to do, I don't think the team has learned what we're actually trying to do at this moment in time. We look very devoid of any real ideas. So because of that, it is just generally, like he says, massively frustrating. Ten Hag's right in one thing, though. We didn't really concede that many chances today. He did say this. He said, it's quite simple. We conceded only 3 chances over the whole game, all 3 from set plays. Then I think we got in good positions and then made poor decisions. I think he's right with what he's saying there, really. I mean, you can't deny that we basically dominated Palace for the majority of the game, really, in terms of possession and chances created. They did only have a few good chances today, but 1 was all they needed in the end. They did score a great goal. Anderson's got a great volley in there. It was a heck of a finish, and he's beaten our goal, and it was a great goal. But Man United needed an answer. We were not clinical in front of goal. We didn't really create that much for our striker, Højlund. He was feeding our scraps throughout the game. Rashford was totally ineffective. Pellistri was totally ineffective. So we just didn't really have the ability to do much in the final third, sadly. It was pathetic, in fact. SDGC Korea, thank you for the $5 super chat here, my son. He says, Mason and Bruno neutralise each other. Erik Ten Hag needs to solve that problem. Right, yeah, fair point. I do think there's big problems there today, mate. Good shout. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, our captain, looked very, very invisible throughout the game, which is a big concern when this man is such a huge, important player for us. And I think you're right. I think whenever we've seen Mount and Bruno on the pitch at the same time, they haven't had a good balance in that midfield. You're absolutely spot on. So I do think you're right there, SDJC Korea. I think basically we should just be playing. Obviously, it's down to fitness and who's available. But in the future, when everybody's back fit, it's going to be more likely a midfield of Amrabat, Cassie and Bruno probably. And Mason Mount's going to find his rightful place on the bench. A £60 million bench warmer. Unbelievable. But we're used to that at United. We're used to spunking obscene amounts of cash on players to sit and warm on the bench, aren't we? We're used to that. So it's nothing new to us. Thank you very much for your super chat, by the way, there, lad. Let's get a Sue in the chat for him. Thank you very much. Oh, goodness me. By the way, we're only 23 subscribers away from 75,700 subscribers. So do hit the subscribe button if you're new to this channel today. Get yourself subscribed. That would be awesome. And drop a little thumbs up on this video if you haven't. We are going to have a bit of a Q&A in a minute. I just want to cover all the rest of this sort of shite that we got to discuss here real quick. Gary M says, if Chelsea lose, let's swap Pochettino for Ten Hag, says Gary M. Again, not the answer really, Gary. Look, if we're going to get a different manager at some point, I want it to be somebody who's got massive bollocks, basically, who's got real reputation. Somebody like a Carlo Ancelotti, for instance, you know, or a Zinedine Zidane or something like that. Not little melty Pochettino, lad. You know, Pochettino's not the answer. He's fucking gashed, lad. I've always thought he's a bang average mediocre manager. Yeah, he did well at Spurs, big whoop. Yeah, he did well at Southampton before, big whoop. He's not a big club, big name, big, huge manager, I don't think, with big bollocks. So Pochettino's certainly not the answer. He's just like an Argentinian sort of Ten Hag level manager you've taken a punt on and given a bit of faith in. So it's a big no from me, Carol. I'm not interested in Pochettino in the slightest. Zamiasi, thanks for your $9.99 super chat. He says, how has the fat crocodile Dundee got Spurs playing like that so soon? And Ten Hag still has no soul. Mate, the fat crocodile Dundee, that is harsh, mate. How dare you refer to Ange Postecoglou as a fat Mick Dundee? You're a disgrace, lad. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Mate, that's harsh, bro. You are cold for that comment there, Samiasi. Fat crocodile Dundee, mate. He's just a meaty individual, lad. He's not even fat. He's just husky. All right, bro? Steady on now, lad. He's just built. You wouldn't know a thing about that because you're a skinny bastard, mate. But in regards to, you know, Crocodile Dundee, I mean, crikey, he's doing great, isn't he? Well, listen, I watched the game today afterwards, and I have to say that, let's face it, they were a bit fortunate to get the win today. Yeah, okay, they actually took the lead first and everything, but let's face it, Liverpool had bloody 9 men in the second half. They had Curtis Jones sent off 26 bloody minutes into the game or whatever it was. So I thought Liverpool, actually, even with 10 men, arguably, they were still the better side in that first half. And then second half, they had another man sent off, and they just got, you know, it's just, there you go. They only just lost, even with 9 men on the pitch. So, yeah, okay. You know, he's doing well, isn't he? He's doing well and doing well, but there's reasons for it as well. Let's face it, Liverpool finished the game with 9 men, Zane. 9 men. But it was a good result for them. You can't argue. What are they, like second in the league right now? They're doing brilliantly. For them, for Spurs, they're having a dream start to the season, no doubt. And Postecoglou looks a real coach. He looks a great manager. He's doing really well. And he has transformed the way that they're playing. They're playing like this nice sort of high-up possession-type football. They're really going for it. They're looking exciting. Son Heung-min's just the absolute man, isn't he? Maddison's been a great signing for them. And he's getting the best out of the players. You can't deny that he's a good coach. But, Zane, to answer your question, he says, how has the fat crocodile Dundee got Spurs playing like that so soon and Ten Hag still has no star? You have to remember that there's often a manager bounce when you get somebody new in. Ever heard of second season syndrome, lad? That's what Ten Hag's currently facing right now, I think. And Postecoglou's only just got in there. Everything's all fresh. Everyone's got this positive attitude. Once a few little poor results start creeping in here and there, the pressure starts to increase. And at this moment, I think he's just on the honeymoon period. That's my honest opinion. I think at some point it will catch up with them and Spurs will do a classic Spurs, just like Arsenal always do, and fucking bottle it, my son. That's what will happen at some point. So just to answer your question, I think he's having a great time. He's just a manager bounce right now. Spurs are feeling positive for various reasons. There's points to prove after Kane's gone. There's a sense of new optimism around the place. The coach is clearly a good coach. And he's done really good stuff in a short space of time. But, yeah, he's galvanised them, but there's a manager bounce going on also, mate. No worries, Gary M. says, Soz Piggy was my attempt at humour. That's cool, Gary M. I got you, my son. I appreciate it. Better than Zayn Miassi's anyway, lad. Thank you very much there, Gary M. Much love to you, bro. Much love to you, my friend. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for getting in here. Raw, lad. We've got a new member of the channel, Your Absolution. Thank you, Your Absolution, for becoming a member of the channel, my son. Yes, lad. Guys, get your favourite emoji to welcome in Your Absolution, everybody, to the channel membership. He has become a member of this channel. Big love to you, Your Absolution. Many big emojis in the live chat for this guy. Get your favourite channel member emoji to welcome him in here. Cheers for that. It's much appreciated, honestly. Thank you so much. Get some love in there for Your Absolution, who's now a member of the channel. Thank you very much, dude. Much love, much love. The Bacon Brigade grows stronger. The Cake Cadet says, fuck United, fuck the players, and fuck the Glazers. Quite simply, fuck United, fuck the players, and fuck the Glazers, he says. Bloody hell, Cake Cadet lad. Well, okay, I mean, fair enough. Fuck United, really? I understand fair enough about the players and the Glazers, but really, just the whole club of United, just bin it off, you're saying, lad? Dude, steady on now, Kate Cadet, lad. Steady on, mate. You know, that's a little bit harsh, isn't it, mate? I mean, I do think that a lot of these players are just absolutely melters and they don't really deserve to be at the football club and they need a big old kick up the arse. And I think the Glazers, the owners, are absolutely abhorrent owners and terrible and just care about money and still have us in $1 billion in debt and are just an absolute disgrace. But to say fuck United, mate, how dare you? How dare you, my son? That's it, mate. Yellow card for you, bro. Straight yellow, in fact. No, straight yellow card, mate. Sorry. Yellow card for you, bro. Booking, you have been warned. Please don't say such heinous things. Thank you for the £2 super chat there, mate. I do appreciate it. Nice one. And we've got another member of the channel as well, Gary M, who's become a member of the Tier 2 Bacon and Egg Brigade. Get in there, you beauty. Thank you so much there, Gary M. Do welcome him aboard to the channel members by getting your favourite channel member emoji, and I appreciate that there, Mr. Gary M. Lad. Thank you so much indeed for doing so. Nice one. Thanks for supporting the channel. I do really appreciate everyone who's a member around here. It does help the channel out. I'll just say this real quick. Obviously, we treat everybody the same around here. You don't need to be a member. You don't need to super chat. We get in and cover all the comments at the end of the show and have a Q&A. We treat everyone the same. But if you do want to support the channel, you can click the join link or the link in the description. It's $1.99 a month. You get your name in green. You get a badge next to your name. You get access to emojis and you get admiration. And you also get a highlighted member comment once a month. And also the best way to support the channel is by becoming a patron at patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. Links in the description as well for that. And there's going to be extra content, post-game streams and shit in there in the future once we've got a few more patrons. And that's one of the best ways you can support the channel. But again, nobody needs to do that. But if you do want to support the show, that's one of the best ways to do so. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate it. Right, let's carry on anyway. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. Let's carry on here, guys. So Ten Hag says it's quite simple. We conceded only 3 chances. He's right. We didn't concede a lot of chances, but we just were not clinical at all with our piss poor sort of reaction at all. We were not able to get back into the game, and his in-game management was not up to scratch. He did say this. He said, I can't say that the players didn't run, but the final part we didn't do well. You have to show more willingness to score that goal. It's not a matter of luck. You can't explain it like this. So, you know, just nothing from us there, really. He's right. We didn't take it at all. Let's get on to the next sort of topic. So we've covered Ten Hag. It's a depressing topic. I'm sticking with Ten Hag. Hashtag Eric Ten Hag in. I'm sticking with him because I think chopping and changing managers, particularly at this stage of the season, does nobody any good whatsoever. It's just basically scapegoating the manager when there's bigger problems afoot at the football club, no doubt, particularly with the shithouse owners of this football club, right? So I am certainly sticking with him at this moment in time. But he's got to drop certain players. There's certain players that I think have underachieved and underperformed and looked absolutely just overhyped so far this season again. One of which is Marcus Rashford. We have to talk about his performance today, guys. What a melter. You know, we don't want to just make this about Rashford. He's just one player on that pitch. But I'll tell you something. What's happened to Marcus based on his performances last season? He was our best player last season. I will stand up for him and say he was. But this season, he's just seemed to have gone hiding. He's got his big contract and now he's just not the same player. I don't know why. He's not doing it for us. He's not performing. He actually looks like half a zombie out there, going through the motions, not really creating for his teammates, looks selfish, looks like he kind of doesn't really know what to do. He's the definition of a headless chicken for United so far this season. Ten Hag talking about Rashford post-game as well. He was asked about Rashford's performance, and he just said that you have to be more determined, willingness to try and score a goal. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess he needs more willingness to score a goal. He also needs more willingness to pass the bloody ball. He's not the type of player that I think can just run around rings around a whole team and score consistent goals. You know, I think he's more the type of player that needs to be getting early balls into the box, playing the percentages, trying to create chances, trying to get the ball in the mixer, in the danger zone, find the likes of Højlund, etc. And instead, he just tries to do it all himself. He is a selfish player. And he thinks he's, I think, a bit better than he actually is, this guy. He is a top player, and he would be worth 100 million if he was on the market tomorrow. There would be a host of top clubs interested in him. But that doesn't mean that he can just get selected and rest on his laurels just because he's built up a reputation. He's got credit in the bank. He can't do that. He's got to earn his spot in that team, just like anybody else. And right now, he should be dropped. What would you do, guys? Would you keep Rashford in the team or drop him? Let us know in the chat. But I honestly would 100% drop him now and give Garnacho the start for the next game or two and allow Rashford an opportunity from the bench to prove himself, because he doesn't deserve, based on the last 3, 4, 5 games, to be getting selected in Manchester United's team. Jamie Ashley, thank you very much there for the super chat. He says, why didn't you go for Gecko, who's at Liverpool? Just cash in on Rashford and get Tony or Osimhen, or we will get them. I'm guessing you mean Gakpo, do you? Yeah, okay, well, Gakpo scored today and he got injured, didn't he? Why didn't you go for Gakpo? Do you mean Gakpo, yeah? Who's at Liverpool? Just cash it on Rashford. Well, we could probably get £100 million for Rashford, but I say stick with Rashford. There was a call for Rashford to go about this time last year as well. And what happened? Rashford did turn it around. Rashford had an amazing season. He scored 30 goals in all competitions, and he was a really, really good player of the season for us. So, you know, it's easy to just chuck these players away. Plus, Rashford's an academy product. That means something. We have a duty to support Rashford for longer than the average melter. Fair enough, if we sign a player and he's doing shite over a couple of seasons like Pogba or whoever, then fuck off. But with Rashford, we produced this talent. He's done good for us in previous seasons. Let's support him through his tough period and hope that he comes out the other side a top player and learns from these mistakes. So that's what I'll be doing with Rashford. I won't be saying chuck Rashford away anytime soon. All I'm merely saying is right now he's out of form, so he doesn't deserve a start in the squad. He needs a reality check. He needs somebody else to come in there who's playing in terms of better form to go and try and be effective in the games and teach him a lesson, basically. Get his head right. He seems like he's just too comfortable or something. I don't know. He's not prepared to go out there and give it his all, it seems. Well, we need somebody who is. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying drop him. Give him a reality check. Make him fight for his place in the side. Don't just make it a formality that he starts every single week regardless of his performances, because that's how laziness and that's how bad habits creep in. So I'm saying, no, we don't need that Gecko melt like you've just said. Tony would be a nice addition to our squad. Osimhen would be fantastic, but these aren't realistic acquisitions now. We've already spunkened all of our money under these Glazer shithouses saying. But thank you for your super chat there. Absolutely abhorrent one it is as usual. Roddy Can't Game says, I stepped out at Dad's birthday party to say hello, Roddy. Thank you so much for getting in here with a $2 super chat. Happy birthday to your old man there, my friend. Get in there. Many happy returns to your old man, bro. Much love, much love. Thank you so much for getting in here on your dad's birthday party, mate. Wish him a happy birthday from me, my son. Thank you so much, Roddy. Is he an Arsenal scummer as well? Hey, Roddy, thank you so much, bud. I appreciate you. Have a great birthday party at your dad's, my friend. Thank you, The Mustard. So spot on, Piggy. Thank you, The Mustard, you absolute top man. I appreciate you. Hey, it's Jarvis Cocker. What's going on, you legend? I hope you're keeping all right, my friend. He says, evening all. What a shit show we witnessed today. We have a lot of excuses, but at the end of the day, we need to start winning football matches. Yeah, damn right, Jarvis. The excuses have to be over, don't they? That's it. It's about doing the business now. It will get very, very difficult, in my opinion, if we don't start putting back-to-back wins together. It will get difficult for Ten Hag and everybody. But to say, oh, Ten Hag out right now, it's just foolishness. I think we've got to stick with the manager, get behind the team, and hope that they can turn it around. But right now, the pressure is on. Jarvis, hope you're doing okay, mate. Much love to you, Don. Gary M says, shout out for my book. You what? Steady on now, my son. Steady on now. Gonna remove that comment, mate. Less of the R word there, my son, yeah? Less of the R word, bro. Roddy, thank you for the super chat here, dude. He says, he's a Chelsea and a CSKA scummer. Oh, okay, right. Moscow vibes, right? Got you. Hey, nice one there, Roddy Can't Game. That's disgraceful, lad. That's disgraceful. Thank you so much for getting in with another super chat, lad. But happy birthday. Let's everybody wish Roddy's dad a happy birthday there, my friend. Thank you for, yeah. Montreal says, the fuck, Gary. Yeah, what you on about there, Gary M, lad? What does that even mean, mate? Steady on. Less of the R word there, my son. Less of that. Anyway, okay. Right, guys, let's carry on. Let's crack on then. Let's move on. So, Marcus Rashford, you have to be more determined and willingness to try and score a goal. Yeah, nice one. That's true. No doubt about it. And, look, so apparently this is from Samuel Luckhurst. He says that some Man United staff are despairing at Rashford's use of the ball. I'm despairing at his use of the ball because his final product is just non-existent. There is no ability to get shots off on goal anymore. That used to be his whole shtick. And if he's not going to pass the ball to his teammates, he needs to score. And if he's not scoring, then he's not doing his job as a wide player well at all, because he has to do both. He has to create and he has to score, and he just looks like his head's gone at the moment. So I can only support him and say I really hope Rashford comes back and does well, just like I supported him last season when he was shitting the bed at the start and the season before last and not doing well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Supported him and hoped that he turned it around because he has talent. We know he's got talent. Let's just hope he gets his head right and starts to put that consistent form together, because we know he can do it. Manny Slouflaki, yes, lad, says it's not Ten Hag's fault. He can't teach the players how to finish in the back of the net. The players were out there kicking the balls and we had possession and control. Couldn't finish, players' fault. Well said, Manny, as well. Great shout. Dominated the game in almost all aspect, really. They had a few chances. They were able to convert one of their chances. We had many more chances, not that many great chances. The final third was the problem area for Manchester United. Like you say, it was not the control of the game. We outpossessed them. We dominated them in all regards. So you're absolutely right, dude. You're absolutely spot on. Thank you so much, Manny, for getting in here raw, by the way. Rashford is stinking up the gaff, Mark M. Definitely, sir. Something has got to give in regards to Rashi. Another player that, well, you can argue that he's having a mixed bag of performances at the moment, but Mason Mount talking after the game. We got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's only just got here. I can see good aspects of his game, good pressing, good energy, good effort levels, all that sort of stuff. But he is a bang average Melcher at this moment, but he's only 24. He's settling in at United during the bad period of our play as well. Hopefully he can be a good player for us in the future. But he's quoted after the game as saying, we have to improve and we will improve. We want to perform for the fans and we want to win games for them. We'll improve. We need to go away and look at some areas that just weren't there today. So that's really the story of the day, really. We just weren't able to sort of convert chances. We weren't able to create enough quality chances. We've got Rasmus Højlund, our £72 million striker up there, and he's starved for chances. Not able to really get that many opportunities into him at all. That's a big fundamental problem. Gary M says, that really is my book, Piggy. Soz for trying to plug it. That's actually your book, is it? That's a hostile title, my son. That is a hostile title for your book, mate. I can see what you're going for there, Gary M. there. Shock value. Try and catch the eyes with a shock value there, Gary. Well, good luck with it, my friend. No worries for trying to plug your book, but may I suggest a slightly less offensive title? You know what I mean? Crikey. If that's your book title, crikey, mate. Are there going to be shops and stores that are prepared to stock that on their shelves, my lad? I don't know. Bruno Fernandes was dog shy, also says Red Olsen. Couldn't agree more, but he was pitiful, wasn't he? Totally went invisible in this game today. Spot on, agreed. Right, okay, so listen, I'm not going to dwell too much on this. This is obviously a very bad day at the office for Man United. I'm going to just move on to this absolute bullshit story very quickly, and then we'll get into the live chat and have a bit of a Q&A about anything you want to discuss. This, I think, is a bullshit story, which is that there's Neil Custers from The Sun, immediately after the game, basically spinning some bullshit PR guff that says that Sheikh Jassim will compete his full takeover of MUFC in the next 2 weeks. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate! What are you doing to us? Don't bloody twist our nipples and lead us down the garden path all the time. This is bullshit, mate. You know what I mean? This just sounds like proper guff, PR spin, nonsense, rubbish, absolute fucking reactionary, pitiful guff, if you ask me. And it's just yawn-worthy, isn't it? I can't even be bothered to discuss it. Just wanted to talk about it because it is being discussed this evening. Oh, yeah, Sheikh Jassim completed full takeover of Man United the next 2 weeks. Bollocks! We've heard about this for fucking years now, it seems. It's an absolute shambles. Exactly, Jarvis. Spinning plates, blatant lies. Completely agree. It's proper PR spin guff from The Sun of all places. The Sun are absolutely, aka the scum. They're absolutely fucking awful in terms of news anyway. To be fair, it's a bloody cartoon comic strip. Might as well be the Beano that we're getting our fucking sources from. But many Man United pages using this as an actual genuine source tonight, suggesting that this is the case. I mean, that's all I can say is hashtag fucking Glazers out, and let's hope it does happen. But they're not going anywhere anytime soon, it seems. And it's just PR spin at this moment in time, guys. PR spin guff to try and, I don't even know, try and save a few bloody stock drops or something, I don't know, for the shithouse Glazers. Who the fuck knows what's going on at this football club any longer? It's a shambles. Right, anywho, enough of that bullshit. But wanted to just talk about it for a second there, but enough of that absolute guff. Right, that's basically it, guys. You know, we've reacted, we've talked about it, we talked about Ten Hag's quotes. There's big problems with Ten Hag. He's obviously got to learn from his mistakes. The style's not there. The reaction throughout the game wasn't there today. His in-game management, the substitutions too little too late. Not the right substitutions even, not the right selection. Should be starting players based on their form over their reputation. Should be starting players like Hannibal. Should be giving opportunities to Garnacho right now, etc. So hopefully he learns from these and does the right thing. But I am absolutely Ten Hag in. There's no point getting on him and putting all the pressure on Ten Hag right now. There's many reasons reasons why Manchester United are failing at this particular moment in time. Ten Hag is a factor, of course. Look, if he was doing his job better, I suppose, he would be able to get more out of that team. But the players are melting all over the place. Players, individuals within that team, septic they are, rancid they are, some of these players. And then the owners and the issues that come down from the top of the club, the miscommunication, the lack of clarity that exists at this football club. Can't be argued, really. There's big problems from the top down, and that's going to have an impact everywhere. It's going to have a knock-on effect throughout the entire club. So that's what's happening. It's not as simple as, oh, the manager's the problem. That's definitely not the case. Hashtag Ten Hag in. Let's get behind the manager and stick with this guy, because if we don't, we're just going to be back to square one. And square one is an awful square to be on for Manchester United. It really is. Yeah, SDJC Korea, thanks for the super chat. Says Marcus missed every pass. That's why he shoots, says SDJC Korea. Maybe so. In terms of his footballing IQ and his vision and finding teammates, he's actually piss poor, isn't he? He's not great. That's why we should have started Garnacho, because Garnacho does have that footballing IQ to create players. Exactly, Tommy Boy, the son. It's just guff, isn't it, mate? Absolute guff, I agree. Thank you. Yes, let's get hashtag Glazers out in there. Thank you, the bastard. Right, I am going to get in the live chat here now, guys, and have a little bit of a chat with you, legends. Thank you very much for everyone who's in here. Make sure you smash that like button on this stream. We've got 481 legends in here. Let's see if we can get 481 likes. We're currently on 246 likes. Actually, let's see if we can get 300 likes by the end of this show. Everyone, take a second to hit the like button before we get into the live chat. Drop a little like on it. It's free. And, of course, subscribe if you're new. You can chat if you subscribe immediately once you're subscribed, so please do that. Also, give us a retweet. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat there. I'm just going to go over and shout out everyone who's retweeted us on Twitter. Big up yourselves. Thanks for sharing the show around. It does really help the show out when you guys retweet it. So the link is pinned to the top of the live chat. Let's see who's given us a retweet. Aaron Homeyard, you legend. Thanks for retweeting the show. The GOAT, Richard Wisterpeck. John Boy Cat. Kieran, Boomy, Raj, Tommy Boyle, you don. The Trooper, Johnny, ST66, Sanjay Ramatar as well, getting in here massively raw. Thank you so much for giving us a retweet there, my friend. I do appreciate it. Guys, thanks so much for sharing the show. Also, Jarvis Cocker and John17 Jackson as well. Johnny Jackson. Thank you very much, guys and gals out there, for retweeting the show. It does help spread the word of the show there on Twitter, etc. So thanks for doing that. And Benjamin Bessemer as well. Thank you very much for retweeting the show there, my son. Get in there, you beauty. Right, let's get into the live chat, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, have your say. Now's the time to do it. I'll stick on here for, 5-10 minutes or something. To be fair, I have got a FIFA stream set up over on the gaming channel, which was supposed to start 8 minutes ago. But you know me, I can waffle on. I'm a passionate individual, and I've got to say what I've got to say. And we've got to get into the live chat and discuss it and all that sort of stuff. We have to cover it, so I'll just be on here for as long as it organically takes. Thank you, Kate Cadet, for the super chat. Says, every man to a man is a scapegoat this team. Every player to a man is a scapegoat this team. And oh, my God. Thank you, Kate Cadet. Appreciate it. Zamiassi says, will you be doing Resident Evil streams, Piggy? Oh, not anytime soon, Zamiassi. Why? Why do you say that? Why? Because you just want to see us playing like a bunch of zombies over here, do you, mate? Zane, I will not be doing that. What I am going to do is play Forza Motorsport, which is coming out soon over on the gaming channel soon, and FIFA, aka FC24, mate, be playing a lot of that over on the channel at the moment in time as well. Listen, this is the FIFA stream or FC24 stream that's going to take place immediately after this stream. I'll put that in the live chat. It's going to be pinned to the top of the live chat, so do go and click that link and check it out. And there you go, folks. That is the link to the FIFA stream. Even if you're not going to watch the FC24 stream, feel free to go over there, subscribe to the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. It's on a different channel these days, so make sure you are subscribed to the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming, so you don't miss them. And also smash a like on it, even if it's not for you and you're going to sleep or whatever, you've had enough talking about this shite. Go over there, smash a like on the gaming stream, it will help us out a lot. Yeah, that's right, Caesar Man, it did glitch and we kept falling into oblivion, I know. Jarvis, good point, says Manny. What was Jarvis's point? He says, I would rather trust Ten Hag to turn this around than trust this group of players to do so with a new manager. The never-ending cycle needs to stop. What a great comment that is from Jarvis. You're so spot on as well. I know, it would just be rinse and repeat, wouldn't it? Back to square one, new manager. Scapegoat. Make a scapegoat for the Glazer shithousers. Sack off a manager. Get another yes man in and repeat the process all over again. I completely agree with you, Jarvis, lad. Alex says, can you rate the players with 6 as average, as we wasn't able to watch the game due to 3 o'clock kickoff, says Alex Samara. You want me to rate the players? They were all shite, bud. The only player or two, really, that I thought really looked decent at all, I say Rafael Varane was probably the best player for us. Other than that, we were shite, lad. Luke, thank you for the super chat. Luke CX, bro, he comments, do you think that potential investors are discouraged by the need to invest massive sums in order to bring the infrastructure and organisation structure up to par? Yes and no. I mean, if it was minority investors, then I would say yes. You see what's happening at Liverpool recently. So FSG has recently sold a small portion of the club off in order to generate funds to improve certain aspects of the football club, just like you sort of referred to there. So that is an option. I guess that is a problem for the Glazer shithouses in regards to selling a piece of the football club off, because who's going to trust the Glazer shithouses with control of the football club to actually utilise that money well? So yes, I do think that does put potential investors off in terms of minority investors, but it shouldn't put off investors as in people who are prepared to buy the majority of the football club. Like Sheikh Jassim, if he's going to get 100% of the football club, he doesn't give a toss what the Glazer shithouses are all about, does he? Okay, I hear what you're saying. It does mean we're going to have to spend $1 billion as soon as he gets in here. You've got to spend to get the debts sorted out as well. And you've got to spend probably $1 billion or $2 billion on the infrastructure of Manchester United. But these guys are so mega rich, and they're getting this organisation in Man United, which is just a colossus franchise, really, and it's only going one way in terms of its value, that I think if you've got the money, you would be happy to invest in it. I mean, why are Manchester City happy to constantly invest into their football team and their facilities and their stadiums and improve things? It's because it's only going one way, and that's the same with Manchester United. So yes and no. I think there must be a bit of a concern, and the Glazers are overvaluing the football club because they're wanting, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million for this football club, when in reality it's probably worth 4.5 billion based on the debt we're in and based on how much is needed in terms of the infrastructure to be spent on it, like you say. So they're just being greedy. But I think whoever does buy the club, as long as it's somebody's looking to buy the majority of the club and it's not just a part percentage that's bought, like sort of what's happening at Liverpool right now, then you should see not too much discouragement from the potential buyers, because it's such a huge club, and it doesn't take a lot to get this club up to scratch if you're that rich anyway. Yes, you need to spend a billion or whatever immediately as soon as you get in here, but if you're prepared to do that, we're a top club. Thank you very much for your comment there, bro. Great comment. Ivo says, you deserve Eric Ten fraud with your love of mediocre football. Well, we certainly don't have a love of mediocre football around here, Ivo Bozo, do we? No, we don't. What we like is swashbuckling football, the Manchester United way. That's what I grew up on, lad. And that's what I expect at Manchester United at the very least. You can't always win every game or indeed win every season. Fergie only won like half of the time, But the point is you've got to play the right way. And we're not playing the right way right now. So we can absolutely aim for the right sort of football. We definitely don't deserve this type of football at the moment. Thank you, Mark Sweetbout says the best part of the match was your show. Thank you, bro. We get these managers who have favourites as Gattuso. It's true. But I've always said this as well. Managers are going to have favourites, and that's for a reason. Maybe because these players deliver for them. Like last season, Rashford delivered for Ten Hag. So why wouldn't Ten Hag have a bit more faith and a bit more belief in Rashford than the average person? So it's only right that managers are going to have favourites. I still think, you should be playing players based on form. But managers are naturally going to have favourites. Definitely Lakers Southpaw. We've never been consistent, says Rajat. Madhouse says, Bozo, you're rude, piggy. Well, okay, yeah, but if he puts in Bozo comments, I'm going to call him out on it, mate. Ivor Bozo, you know what I'm saying? It says, what did the Palace A team think of our swashbuckling football? Mate, we're shit at the moment, Ivor Bozo, lad. We're shit at the moment. Of course, yes, it's easy to say so after losing a couple of games, bro. Forrest says, I watched Man United as a kid with Dad. He's a Man U fan. Remember the treble days? Oh, yeah, no. Amazing days, lad. Amazing days. Sadly, we're a long way away from that this moment. Zidane would be cool for Arabi, but I'm not done with putting the faith in Ten Hag just yet, lad. It was a bimbo comment, Timmy, weren't it? Ratcliffe is affected by borrowing costs much more than Qatar. Yeah, precisely, mate. Glazer 2.0, lad. Kate says, yes. Piggy, losing is bad enough, but to be boring to have to suffer watching mind-numbing football is not what being a United fan is all about. Spot on. We should be the Harlem Globetrotters of the Premier League, really. Yeah, we'll get back, Mark, sweet lad. You don't advocate getting rid of Ten Hag yet, but offer me Ancelotti and I might have to think about it. Yeah, there you go. So if he was available, then yes, but he's not, is he, right now? Qatar will get Jose back. You don't think Ten Hag's the guy? Well, look, I've got a poll running throughout the show. A lot of people don't think he's going to make it to the end of the season. I'll leave that poll there, actually. We've had 623 votes. 623 votes on the poll and 274 likes. You what? Smash that like button, everybody. Who are you, Jadon Sancho or something? Hit the likes on the stream. Help us get 300 likes. Piggy channel, Piggy's opinion, keep calling it as it is, Pig. Oh, I will, Gary. Oh, I will, mate. Thank you so much. Glad you were working today, says Eamon. Thank you for the super chat. SDJC Correa says, does your government get involved in making sure that EPL owners do not become slumlords? Sadly, they don't, mate, but they absolutely should. I mean, for instance, the Premier League and the government should have basically put a stop to the Glazers buying the club in the first place 18 years ago. That's what they should have done, because they bought it with, it was a leverage takeover with debt money, mate. It's a disgrace. So they should have absolutely not been able to do that, not been able to buy the football club. They shouldn't have passed the fit and proper persons test, basically, with how they plan to acquire the club. So they don't do enough to answer your question, SDGC Correa. You ate tonight, Joe, mate? I have, mate. Yes, I had a bit of pie, mash, and mushy peas, lad. Pie, mash, and mushy peas. Potentially, if the Zerbi goes to Madrid, you never know. Yeah, easy scored our players. Roy played the board fraud like a boss, says Ivo Bozic. Yes, indeed. Zidane is being posted as a general manager for Marseille with SA backing. Interesting. Benjamin says it's so simple. Eric needs to button down the hatches. Get those egos gone. Sancho's a whining man baby whose ego's sky high because of his price. Love Rashford, but he needs to be dropped for a while. Yeah, spot on. Agree with that. Get in there, Benji Bessemer legend. De Zerbi got wasted. He did indeed, yeah. A slumlord is somebody that basically owns he's like a landlord who just owns a slum of a flat and just like rents it out, and it's a shithole. Like it up, says Eamon Barrett. You hit the like. Thank you, Forrest. Yeah, there you go. De Zerbi put in his place today, mate. Rashford been terrible nearly all his career. When he scores, he's terrible. When he doesn't, he's a disgrace, as Dutch cries. I think that says more about the mentality of certain people than does Rashford, to be fair. It's like everybody just demands the very best all the time. It can't happen all the time. But we have to support him in his bad moments just like we do in his great moments. And there's been a lot of great moments for him, you know. New owners will bring in Ancelotti next season, says Tommy. Interesting. What a performance, says Merciless. It was disgusting. Yeah, slumlord's a landlord that keeps collecting rents but lets the property fall apart. Absolutely. Government shouldn't care about the clubs, to be honest, Pig. That's what governments are for, says Must Play. Well, they should care, mate, because it's a vital part of the economy. Think about how much money's generated from the Premier League. They should have a duty of care to protect that institution. Lily Gamer says, United are gash like Chelsea. Yes, we are, Lily, aren't we? It's pathetic. Frey Bentos, it wasn't actually, it was a pucker pie, mate. It was a pucker pie, lad. Like a pucker pie, me. Right, guys, there's a natural end to the stream. Get your Frey Bentos emojis in there. We're going to wrap this stream up. But before I do, thank you all for watching. We are doing an EAFC 24 stream. Hey, Northern Migration, what's going on? We're doing an EAFC 24 stream starting right now over on the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. I've just put it into the live chat there, guys. So please click that link. It will take you over to the live stream on the gaming channel. FC24, give us a few minutes and we'll be on to start the show. There's the link right there, guys. Go over there. Make sure you subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming. It's a different channel to this one. This is called Flying Pig United. Go and subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming, and that way you will not miss those streams over there. We're going to be jumping on, playing some FIFA, and hopefully chilling out and just putting this gash day to rest. Gary M says, that's true. Scudamore let it through 2 years after Leeds. Gary M, thank you very much for another super chat there from Australia, mate. Get in there. Good day from down under, by the way. Thank you so much for your super chats tonight. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here with your super chats. Thank you for getting your comments in here. Thank you for getting your opinions in here throughout the show. Please continue to do so. You can come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comment section. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Ryo Forest, Fraud Sports, Eamon, Sylvester. Get in there, Steve Moss, Montreal, Account CB, Ivo Bozic, Jarvis Cocker. Thank you, Jarvis, you legend. He says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. Gungshi, you legend. Account CB, Tommy. SDGC Korea, thanks for another super chat, says you need to elect a Labour government. I'm not even going to get into this, mate, to be fair, but you know what? Conservatives are shite. Thank you, SDGC Korea, my son, Duncan, Eamon, Barca, Momo, Kieran, Scott, Gary, TC Boy, Real Killers, Rajat, K-Cadet, Musper, everybody else as well. Go over, even if you're not going to watch the FIFA stream, go over and smash a like on the stream. And subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. It's right here, guys. There's the link once again. Thank you, Luan, Josh, Eamon. I'll see you in a couple of minutes, guys. See you in a minute on FC24 on the gaming channel. Flying Pig Gaming. See you then. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check all the links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Nearly at 300 likes. Thanks for everyone who's hit the likes. Thanks for subscribing. We're only 20 away from 75.7k subs now. Thank you for getting in here. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Stay classy, come back, have your say afterwards, and go and follow us over to these FIFA streams starting in 3 minutes on Flying Pig Gaming. See you then. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much, Ivo Bozic, Gary, and everyone. Thanks for the bants. Thanks for the chat. Appreciate everyone getting their passionate opinions in here. That's what this is all about. This community is not everybody's going to agree all the time. We're here to debate. We're here to discuss. We're here to vent. That's what this is about. So thanks for getting involved and being a part of it and being passionate, guys. I appreciate it. Good night, folks. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.